I'll do that as well. Just to, keep some privacy there. And let's see. Warm calls, cold calls, hot calls. I'll tell you where the lead came from. I'll tell you, as much information to give you a little play-by-play. My number one goal today, anybody want to guess? Who wants to guess, rather, what my number one goal of making these calls is? Who wants to make a guess? What do you guys think? Hello, Monica. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for
Hello,
having
Monica.
me.
My pleasure. My pleasure. What do you think my number one goal is today?
Get an appointment.
That's my number two goal. What's my number one goal? Hello, sweetie. Ruth's got a friend there. Thanks for bringing your friend. All right. My number one goal is to have a conversation. Okay. That's really, really important that you guys get that. Your number one goal is to have a conversation because you can't get an appointment without a conversation. So no matter who I'm calling, it's just really just to have a conversation. That's it. It's that simple. Now, in the consistent predictable income community, I teach a strategy called the CPI communication model. I'll tell you that in normally it takes me 10 minutes to teach this, but I'll tell you that in like 30 seconds or less so we can get to the phones. The CPI communication model is what you're going to observe me using here. What that is there's 3 steps of the CPI communication model. Number 1 is be in rapport. Number 2 is ask in-depth questions. Number 3 is actively listen. As I'm making these calls, you'll observe me doing those 3 things. Yet, you have to understand what some of these components are. What is rapport? Rapport is a connection of energy. That's all it is. And you'll observe me connecting with people's energy. If they're high-paced, I'll be high-paced. If they're slow-paced, I'll be slow-paced. Because I want to connect with their energy. So rapport is a connection of energy because we are spiritual beings manifested in this human condition. And when we connect with other people in that scenario, when we connect the energies, then we're able to be in rapport and be deeply connected with another human being. Number 2, ask in-depth questions. An in-depth question is just something to carry on the conversation. Typically, what you'll hear me doing is repeating back what I hear from them, and then they're going to fill in the blanks. If I get to a point where it's stuck and I need to carry the conversation, what do? I ask a question. Step 3, actively listen. What am I actively listening to and for? I'm actively listening to the energy, the connection of the energy, the tonality of the other person, so that I can understand, are we connected or not? All right, that's what we're doing today. Let's rock and roll. So I'm opening up my CRM, and I'm going to start with some warmer calls first. No, let's start with some cool calls first. Why not? Let's get that out of the way. We're going to start with some absentees. All right, so I'm going to be calling. These are people who have a property and they are renting it. And that's who I'm calling. And so let me get to the top of my list here. And we're going to go ahead and start. You guys ready? Any questions, any comments, any concerns? All right. So we're going to go ahead and start down this. Feel free to, ask me anything when I'm in between calls. I may have to be abrupt to sort of stop and start conversations just because I am making calls and I am doing this live. And here we go. So I'm calling an absentee owner. First,
We're trying to reach is not a
first one's a lucky one. You get the disconnected numbers out of the way. Next one's gonna be the best freaking conversation of my life. 58. Oh, I don't want to say it out loud. Let me not give the personal. Okay, let me not give the personal information. Let's do this. Hold on one second. All right, so I am dialing right now an absentee owner in, where are they? Alexandria, Virginia. That means that they are a landlord. Now, one of the things in my marketplace is there's a lot of military. So a lot of these absentees are actually military, not necessarily like investors on purpose. Welcome everyone who just joined us. Monica, Kat. Who's that on the iPhone? I don't know your name. Welcome.
Regina.
Regina, hey, this is Dan Rochon. Sorry, I was in a conversation there. I'm a local real estate agent. I was calling you about your property here on Lebanon Road.
Huh?
Is that an investment property that you have, or you?
Yeah, right now I'm at work and I work in a hospital
Ooh.
in the ICU, so it's not a good time to talk.
Okay. Can I call you back later? All right. So works in ICU. So what do we observe about that conversation? Anybody? What's your observations, real quick?
Not too interested to talk to you at all. But you did find a little bit about her.
Yeah, I'll put it in there. So what does that mean to me? Mike, thanks for introducing yourself. The other Mike. What does that mean to me? Anyone want to make a guess? Come on. Throw a guess. What's that mean to me? What that means to me is dial the next number. All right. So who I'm dialing now is also in Alexandria, Virginia. Awesome. Also, we know that was a good connection, good phone number. And it's a good contact, right? Like it was a legit, like she owns that property. That's good information to know. Just bad timing. Did I get struck by a lightning bolt? No. So even when someone's like sort of pushing you off, it still doesn't matter.
How do you handle it
Your
when
call has been forwarded to voicemail.
he
The person you're
she
trying
hangs
to
up
reach is
before you
not
can ask if
available.
you can call
At the
back?
tone, please record your message. When you have finished
I'll tell
recording,
you
you
in a
may
second.
hang up.
Charles, hi, this is Dan Rochon. I'm a local real estate agent. I'm calling you. Wanted to know a little bit about that property. Give me a call back if you could, 703-346-2776. That's 703-346-2776. And again, my name's Dan. I'm a local agent. Look forward to talking to you. Thanks, Charles. Bye. Ruth, to answer your question, what do I do if they just hang right up on me?
In that case, she said that it wasn't good timing and then hung up, and you didn't
Yeah.
get a chance to get an answer to, can I call you back? So how do you handle it when they seem maybe open, but you don't have a good solid yes, you can call me back?
I'll probably, I got a list of about two or 3,000 people here. I would call her back in the future, but I've got so many people, there's like so many people that you could call that I'm not necessarily like about I'm my only job right now is to have a conversation, right? And so that's a good prospect because you know that she does own an investment property. I called her at a bad time. So I definitely going to call her back, but it'll probably if I was to guess, it may be a couple months before I call her back, just because it's not a better use of my time is just call the next person. Now you'll see in a bit when I get to the warm connection, these are people that I've talked to in the past that got past this point. So right now in the sales process, I am dead cold. That's why they call them cold calls. Okay, so I'm just looking to get them from cold to warm to hot to hire me. Right. And so it's understanding where you are in the process. When I call her next time, it's going to be dead cold. Plus, I got a little bit of information. I know it's a good contact. That's better than dead cold,
Gotcha.
right? Yeah, but I'm not going to worry about it because it's still in the cold bucket right now. So I got more than enough in the cold bucket. But I'm sure I'll come back around to her at some point. All right, next one I'm going to call. I love the questions, so keep them coming. And like I said, if I gotta sort of be I am managing making calls while we're talking. Three. All right. But I definitely welcome the conversation. Five. Hey Les, do me a favor. On this worksheet, see if you can, I don't know if you can do this or not, but format that because it's a little bit hard because all the numbers run together. So if you can format that so that the numbers have like a dash in them or something, because I'm struggling right now to like read the numbers, and sometimes my dyslexia kicks in and I get the numbers out of order. But if you put a period or a dash in there, it'd be helpful to me if you can. I don't know how hard that is. All right, either way. All right. So I am on 3,763, just so you know where I'm calling from. So again, that goes back to Ruth to like I'm literally on 3,763 out of tens of thousands. My God, that was quick. She fixed it. Um, You can get rid of the 1 if you want. That's really super helpful. This sounds like a good lead. Steven, hi, this is Dan Rochon. Sorry that I missed you. I was calling you about your property. I wanted to, I got a quick question about that property. If you can give me a call back, 703-346-2776. That's 703-346-2776. I'm a local real estate agent. Just got a quick question. Thank you. Bye now. All right. Why did I say that's a good question? Or a good question? Why do you think I said that that's a good lead, or one that I think may be a good lead? I'll tell you why, because he seemed like an old timer, right? Like just in his voice message, seemed like he was a little bit older, and that's a good thing, right? Because old timers are more likely going to make a decision than people that are younger. That's all. Who knows? All right, next one. All right, we're still calling, and now I got my numbers so that I can read them a little bit better. Thank you for your prompt help, Leslie. She is freaking amazing. I'm staying in, it looks like I'm staying in a certain neighborhood. All right, that's disconnected. Not working number. So let's go to the next. This neighborhood that I'm calling, it's a small condominium unit, and it's off of the Route 1 corridor in Alexandria, Virginia. It looks like I got a bunch of this, and it makes complete sense because this is a neighborhood that has a ton of
The wireless customer you are calling is
it has a ton of investors in there. Are you really literally doing that one by one, Les? I'm watching Les work on my spreadsheet behind me. All right, this next one's it's a different neighborhood. It's also Alexandria, but it's a different neighborhood in Alexandria. It's off 395. I don't know how many of you guys are local, but all right. So now you see sort of as I go through these why when like the lady from the ICU, I'm like, that's good information. So next time I go through this list, I'm taking off the ones that are, not good, and then I'm notating. It's just to make my job easier in the future when I get back to it. Notice how I said my job. This next one, I've called this next guy before. I don't know what happened with it, but I called him because he saved my number in my phone. Let's call 2 more of these, and then we'll get to some warmer calls. That way I can actually have some calls. Because sometimes you don't get a lot of answers on these. I'll do 2 more after this plus 2 more. Lead generation game can sometimes be a little bit boring, but you'll notice in 45 minutes, I bet I'll set an appointment today. I'd be surprised if I don't. Maybe I don't.
call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 571 44 is not available. The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages.
Does anybody else besides me get annoyed when the AT&T they put it at the end to say that the voice message is full? Don't you think they could put that at the beginning and then you don't have to listen to it? I don't know. Somebody talk to AT&T for us. That always annoys me. I don't know why. I'm easily annoyed, I guess. Sometimes they tell me I'm easily annoyed. All right, next one. This is I actually don't know where this. It's in Alexandria, but I'm not recognizing the address. One of the tools that I have up in the background, I'll show you guys here in just a second, is NAR RPR. So that's something that I recommend that you have when you're lead generating. I'll tell you why here after this next call.
File is not inserted.
All right. So NARRPR.com. What you can do is let me share my screen with you guys. I'm going to put in an address of a property I used to own just because I know the property. And let me put this in here. So if you're a realtor you have, well, we'll just do this last one here. If you're a realtor, you have access to this resource. And so if I'm calling on this property address right here, did you see how quickly I got the data? Like let's just say I'm on with somebody, I call this address or call this number really. I know right away what the AVM is, the automatic valuation. And so that gives me some reassurance that if they say to me, well, what's my home worth? I can talk in generalities. I would say something like, well, probably low 500s. I'd have to really see it and then ask a question and carry the conversation on. Right. So I don't want you ever getting stuck with, well, what do I do if they ask me, Ruth, you have a whole family going on there. That is, you got your hands full.
And the baby's in the swing.
And the baby's in the swing. All right. Four kids?
Yeah. 4
All
total.
right. All right. You keep yourself active. You go, girl. All right. So did she just leave? Oh, I think one of her kids hung up on us. It's funny. I don't think she hung up on us. All right, maybe she did. So anyway, so having that system available for you in the background can give you like sort of reassurance, like I'm good. And look, like I'm not, you guys see like how much research am I doing to make these calls? Zero. Why do I need to do zero research to make these calls? Anyone want to guess? I've already given you the answer. First thing I said to you guys today. What's my intention of the call? Welcome back, Ruth.
Set an appointment.
Well, that's my second intention. What's my first intention?
Conversation.
Do a report.
Boom. Sarah's correct. Have a conversation. Do I need to do a lot of research to have a conversation? No. You see, like, so sometimes we sort of mess ourselves up as agents. They're like, well, cold calling, I got to do all this research. Listen, I've done a lot of times I do at my house, I'll do like a lead generation. People will come over and they'll work. And not without fail, they'll show up and they'll spend out of 2 or 3 hours of lead generating, 2 or 3 hours doing research about who they're going to call. Right? Like it's like, yeah, it's useful to have it, but you have the tools, really just narrpr.com. If you're a realtor, use it. All right, let's make, what did I say? 2 more calls, and then I'm going to go into a different list. I lost my list. Let me find it. Where is it? There it is. All right. I hope to have a call or I did have one call, but hopefully we get a good call, and then we'll do some warmer prospects next. All right. Whoops. That didn't go through. Hold on. All right, I'm calling. This is also this is back in that first neighborhood in Alexandria. All right, calling the next one. This is also, I like Alexandria, so I'm going to stick in Alexandria because I like the community. I like every community. Hey, if they want a list, I like your community. If you want to sell in Northern Virginia, give me a call. This will be the last one, then we'll go to something else. We may come back to these if we have time.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Jason, hey, it's Dan Rochon. Give me a phone call. I'm a local agent. I'm calling you about your property here on property. I'd love to be able to talk to you about it. My phone number direct 703-346-2776. You can call or text me 703-346-2776. Thank you so much. Bye now. That was a Washington State number, so maybe they're out of, but it's late enough in the day. It doesn't matter where they are in the country. All right, let's go into, all right, I'm going to go into next. I'm going to go into some sort of, people that I've been, warmer type leads. I'll tell you where I originally got them from. I'll tell you sort of where we are with them. And none of these people have been anybody that's hired me. This next one is somebody who I spoke with. Let's see if I can figure out where he came from. All right, he came in on June 19th, 2024. Now check this out. Original thing, did not answer, no show. So he no showed a few appointments, no showed again, no show for the past 3 appointments, unresponsive, no answer. And then guess what? Asked for a call back tomorrow at 3:30, connected him with a lender. So let's give him a call. So that's just an example of not the right timing. And now he's talking to a lender. Let's see where he is with that.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Please.
I'm going to text him. Hey, just checking in. I got a quick question for you. Is there time for a conversation? All right, I was hesitating there. If you heard me like in my pacing of that, because I like to use the word quick. So normally I'll say, "Is there time for a quick conversation?" But I already said the word quick, and I couldn't think of another word like quickly enough. But quick is a short word that I use in voice messages and text because you know, like, what's the reason why they're not going to talk to me? Because they don't want to get involved in this whatever. So it just seems like I can get more conversations from that. So I sent him a, hey, just check in. I got a quick question for you. Is there time for a conversation? Right. Again, what's my intention of the text? There's a different intention of what I'm doing with the calls. Anybody want to guess what's my intention with a text? Simple once you hear it.
Get a call back.
Yep. Get a call back, get a text back. What's my intention of a voice message? What's my intention of a voice message?
Communication, I guess.
Get a call back.
Okay.
Right? You got to just think. It's simple when you think about it. What do you want to do? You want to get a call back. Right. So now what is and this is important, right? For understanding this with buyers, particularly, what does a buyer want in an agent? Or no, let me change that. What does a buyer want?
Find their
Who's the
dream
buyer?
home.
They want a home. Maybe not dream. Okay. Does anyone agree here that a buyer wants a home? What do agents typically do when you're approaching a buyer? I'll give you the answer to this because you may not know, but what I observe is agents typically say, "Hey, I'm here to help you. Do you want my help?" Again, what does the buyer want? They want a home. Do they want your help? No. Now that may seem like what? No, they need your help. They don't want it. In sales, you give them what they want. You approach them with what they want, and then you give them what they need. What do they need? They need your help. What do they want? They want a home. If you can remember that in the way that your interaction with buyers, before you give them the help, you got to lead with the home. That makes sense? And so many agents screw that up where they lead with the help. They need the help all day long, more so than ever before. They need the help. They just don't realize it. They think they don't need any help. They think it's easy.
Dan,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Can you please repeat that again, please? The one you just the way you put it again.
Yeah, buyers need your help, but they want a home. So the only thing a buyer wants is a home. So if you're leaving a voice message, so that's how this ties into that. Here's the voice message. I'll do a live one live, but I'll role play it now. Hey, I'm calling you. It's Dan Rochon. I was calling because I see you're searching for some homes online. I've got one that's not on Zillow or Redfin that you may be interested in. Give me a call back. So now I'm sort of putting all these pieces together. When I said, what's the intention of a voicemail? Get a phone call back. Okay. So how do you get a phone call back? First, you have to understand, what do they want? What do they want? They want a home. What most agents make the mistake is to leave a voice message like, hey, if you want my help, give me a call back. They don't want your help. They want a home. So you got to lead with that. Roseman, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
It's my pleasure. All right, let's go. In fact, I'll call some buyers here. I'm going to open up a different system. So I'll show you the system that I have open up now, which is KB Core, and it's populating. And you see You know, I got people 18 hours ago, 19 hours ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago. So not a lot of leads, but it is a lot of leads, but you know, it's a good little bit of leads. KV Core, I get that through my brokerage, EXP. If you're interested in learning more about that, hit me up. I'd love to be able to help you and be your guide in this world. In the meantime, let's see here. I'm calling from that KV Core system. I am calling a buyer, and let's see what we got. So this one's looking in Woodbine. Let's see what we got here. So all right. So I went from like cold to warm to hot. So these are, I would consider warm. And then the ones I've already talked to, which was I gonna go do, I'll do those next. Why do I call this warm? Because they've actually reached out. Like I know they're online looking at homes. Okay. So I know at the very least that they have an interest in homes, but I've not talked to them. So that's the difference. The first ones, they have zero interest. That's cold. Now I've talked to them. Yeah, but I tell you, I could maybe. Hello? Phone number, and I'll give you a call back. Thank you. Steve, hey, this is Dan Rochon, local real estate agent with greetingsvirginia.com. I was calling you. I see that you are online looking for some homes, and I see what you're looking for. And I have something that you may be interested in. It's in the Woodbine area. It's not on Redfin or Zillow. Give me a call back if you could, please. 703-346-2776. You can call or text 703-346-2776. Thank you. Bye now. All right, this next one, I'm not going to call her because she's got a Long and Foster email address. So somebody's hacking my site. Hello, Adele. Thank you for hacking me. Love you to death. Welcome to Hack Me. Please I call that rip off and duplicate, R&D. That's what that's called. All right, next one is looking in Arlington, Virginia. Lower price point, particularly for Arlington, but let's see what we got. So these are all people that registered on my KB Core website. I'm going to be doing a video series relatively soon on how to use KB Core. So I'm going to help you guys really master this stuff. But today, we're not going to do that. Today, we're just mastering lead generation. She was on my site 4 days ago and registered 4 days ago. So new lead.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Dude. Cynthia, hi, it's Dan Rochon calling. Sorry that I missed you. Hey, I'm a local real estate agent with greetingsvirginia.com. You were online looking at some homes. I got something here in Arlington that I wanted to run by you. Give me a call back if you could, 703-346-2776, 703-346-2776. You can also text me. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Bye now. Okay. So did you notice how that the phone messages I'm leaving, what am I leading with? What do they want? They want a home. You guys got that? That's what we went through before. So these are buyers. I also ended that conversation with an embedded command. Did anybody catch the embedded command that I ended the conversation with? You may or may not know what embedded command is. So if not, you're probably just guessing. But
Give me a
who
call
wants
back.
to? I said, give me a call back. I didn't say that. I said something different. Close though, Ruth. Who caught what I said when I ended the call? Now, how about this?
You can also send me a text.
Pay attention to the next one. I'm not going to give you the answer. The answer is to be determined. For the next voicemail I leave for a home buyer, pay attention to the very last thing that I say. All right. So the next one is looking in Philadelphia. That's not my target area. So we're going to skip on her. So once in a while you get somebody in there from whatever. The next one is looking in Fairfax at a price point of $950. Would anybody want to buy her at $950,000? Would that be somebody worthy to call? I would. All right, here we go.
Call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Eva, hey, it's Dan Rochon. Hey, listen, I was reaching out to you. I see you were searching on my real estate website, greetingsvirginia.com, and I wanted to let you know I saw a home that you may be interested. It's here in Fairfax. I wanted to run it by you real quick. Give me a call if you're interested. You can also text me 703-346-2776, and I look forward to talking. Thanks so much. Bye now.
I look
What was
forward
it?
to talking, implying that they are in fact going to call you back.
That's good. That's good. It's all I'm teaching. It is all psychology and sales, but that's not what I'm asking. What was the last thing I said to her? And then better command.
Bye now.
Bye now. You guys get it? So the words that we use speak often to the subconscious. So when I say adios to somebody, instead of saying later, dude, and I say bye now has two definitions. Bye now or bye now. Okay. So when you learn how to use the psychology of sales, when you learn how to use persuasive conversation, then you'll be able to make more sales because it's talking to the subconscious. Okay, so in the I do have a program that we do every Friday. We do neurolinguistic programming, psychology, the language of sales, and hypnotic techniques, where we go deep into the persuasive techniques of like right now. I'm not really teaching right now. I'm just demonstrating, right? But every single Friday we role play that in a group setting where you would really, really learn the psychology behind sales and what the top people do for sales. Natalie, I'll get that lead to you right now. I'll just put it in the chat here. So we got a Philadelphia agent. Let me go back here. If you're interested in learning more about that, Les will put in something there. And she's looking in Hamilton, New Jersey, and 48th Street, Philadelphia. So we just happen to have. It looks like that agent, or it looks like she lives here locally in Manassas, Virginia, but she's looking out of state. So let me, who was that just sent that chat to me? That was Natalie. Okay. Natalie, I'm gonna send this over to you. If anything works out from it, if you want to pay me a referral fee, let me know. But I'm not even asking for a referral fee, right? Like, just do the right thing, whatever works. All right, what's next? If I would have called and converted it, then I would have asked for a referral fee, right? But I'm just handing off a lead. Whatever you think is fair. All right, so let's move on. So let me call one more of these, and then we'll move into some warmer. All right, this one's looking in Arlington. Bernadette is her name, and she's looking at a price point of $900,000. I love this KV course system that EXP provides to me because I can see exactly what these guys are doing. I can see exactly the homes, one on North Taylor, one on Wilson, one on Eads. And I can see she's looked at a dozen properties. That's a good lead.
Bernadette Farrell is not available. Helen, please record the message.
Bernadette.
Yes.
Yes. Hey, it's Dan Rochon. I'm a local real estate agent with greetingsvirginia.com.
Hey.
Yeah, I was seeing that you were looking at some homes online here in Arlington, and I was just calling to check in with you, see if you're in the market to buy a home.
Yeah, not really, not now. I'm just kind of on occasion just looking to see how things are. But I don't really know if I want to buy in Arlington or I'm just not sure. I just moved down here a couple of years ago.
Okay. Where'd you move from? Yeah, I got you.
Connecticut.
Oh, what part of Connecticut?
Yeah, I lived in Westport, and I'm also looking at some things up there. I have some family still there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm not sure. So I'm really just not serious at this point. Just
I got you.
kinda every so often looking.
I got you. I was born in Hartford, so
Okay, so you know Connecticut.
yeah, I know it well. But so you're just sort of checking things out right now. You're not sure if you're serious. Um,
Like, I don't know if I want to buy something to live in, or I want to just buy some investment property, or I want to buy something with my son, or I might buy something up in Connecticut with another son and something down here
okay.
with another son. I just don't know.
I got you. I got you.
It's just looking.
Well, I appreciate that you don't know. I completely respect that. I wouldn't mind though, just like maybe sharing some homes with you that, might fit for you and your son and maybe, I mean, help you with your decision making process. Any way I can help you at all. How could I best help you?
Well, you know, it's hard to say. I think one of the things that's interesting to my oldest son here is possibly looking at something where there's uh maybe a house that also has like an in-law suite. If we wanted to actually live in something together and share it, or rent out part of it and I would live in part of it. And the only reason why I say you might help with that is because it's not really typical.
Yeah.
It's an unusual thing. So if you were to see something like that that came up, that would be interesting.
All right.
I really don't know what we want to do.
I'll keep an eye out for it for sure. I got you.
Okay.
What area would what area would work for you?
Well, I'm retired and I mean, right now I live on Queen Street
Got it.
in Clarendon, in that, I don't know if you're familiar
All right.
with
Yeah.
that building where it's the Worcester Mercer.
Uh-huh.
Which is like a New York thing. I grew
Yeah.
up in New York. And I mean, it's so completely, uh, convenient to everything, including the metro, of course, which I don't need the metro. So, I'm paying, I mean, one would pay a lot for location to live here that I don't really need. On the other hand, it's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Because where I lived in Connecticut and Westport, I lived on 2 acres, and it was completely different. Not in the city, so it's kind of neat to be in a city kind of like this, so that this is not like New York. um, so I don't know. I don't know. I mean, my son sent me something he saw, but it was a really big house, and we don't know. He sometimes thinks of just buying something that he would rent out, and that was in Port Royal or Royal
Front
something.
row. Yeah. Front row.
Yeah, which about an hour from here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he just loved it. I mean, he goes back and forth of just wanting sometimes a Virginia farm.
Oh yeah.
And, so I don't know. I mean, we are so open. I, I figure I'm going to get more serious after the holidays and
Okay.
start to think about what I want to do.
Well, would it make sense if maybe we connect, maybe a little bit before the holidays and then we could sort of set something up for after the holidays?
Maybe,
Okay.
you know, but anyway, yeah, you could call me then and we could see if I've done anything.
I'll give you a call in November or something like that. Would that work?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. My name is Dan Rochon. If you want to save my number, and I look forward to talking to you in a couple of months.
Okay.
Okay.
Dan, give me your number.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
703
Mm-hmm.
346
Mm-hmm.
2776.
Okay. And where do you focus?
Yeah, it's here in Northern Virginia. I've been selling homes since 2007.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a nook or a cranny here in Northern Virginia that I don't know intimately. I mean, I've been doing this for so long, and I can really help you and your son, or whatever may be most appropriate. I mean, I know Front Royal very well. I know Arlington very well. Literally, I mean, every single side street I'm familiar with.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, Dan. All right, well, thanks. I wrote your number down and yeah, give me a call.
All right. God bless. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye. Okay, so we just went from warm to warm plus. You guys see how that works? So we started the day with cold, and then we moved over into warm because they reached out to me, but I haven't. So now the next call to her is going to be more familiar. It's going to be more like, hey, you asked for me to give you a phone call, etc. And I wrote down handwritten notes. I'm going to put them in my CRM later, and then task myself to call her in November. Call in November. And now when I call her in November, it's like, I'm ready. I'm ready to rock and roll. Now I'm going to give you guys the truth. I don't cold call myself that often, except for when I'm doing it live. Why do I not cold call? Because my pipeline is so full that I'm calling the warmer leads typically. Make sense to you guys? But if you don't have a full pipeline, you got a cold call. And that's why I'm demonstrating cold calling, because I do need to do it once a week, but I have a staff that helps me with that. And, I've been doing this for so long. I do have, a pretty decent pipeline. Before I move on, any observations about that phone call? We still have 17 minutes, so we're good on time. Observations about what just happened there? How many times do you think she tried to hang up in the conversation that I sort of resurrected it? Anybody recognize how many times that she was almost ready to go? Yeah. Mateo, that's the same number I got. Mateo, you want to tell us that? That's the same number I got.
3.
Yep. Yep. Tell us what happened in those instances. That's really awesome that you noticed that.
Well, I saw that you engaged her and just kind of got off the topic of so much what you were trying to sell her a house as much as you were trying to get information from her as to what her plans were, whether it was today, tomorrow, or next year. You were just trying to get her to engage with you so that you can have a better read for where she's at.
Yeah, right before I brought up Connecticut, she was ready to hang up the phone right there. And I resurrected it with Connecticut. And then there was another 2 times I did something similar to that. I don't recall what they were, but I was counting 3 times as well, where she was like, if you're listening, remember we talked about CPI communication model. This is number 3, actively listening to the energy. So as I'm listening to the energy, I can see this phone call is going boom, done. So what do I need to do? I need to pull it back. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yep.
All right, cool. And one more observation, Mateo. Thank you for sharing. If somebody share one more observation, then we'll go on to some warmer calls. So we probably should be able to end up with some pretty decent calls here. One more observation before we move on.
I noticed you just kind of let her talk for as long as she wanted before you jumped in. My instinct is to jump in a lot faster, but you just kind of let her talk until you were ready to go.
No. Yeah, exactly. It's the best communicators listen. Again, it goes back to the CPI communication. It's actively listening. Okay. And if you notice, I'm just sort of replaying her words to her, like the last few words of what she says, and then she's going to carry the conversation on. And then I ask it a depth question. That's number 2 of the CPI communication model when necessary. I may jump in there with some sort of something to become to have a connection and a rapport. Like both of us living in Connecticut, that's rapport building. I don't want to get too deep into rapport building because sometimes it's so misunderstood. Attend one of my classes. I'm doing one on the 7th, I think. Les can put it in there where you're going to learn how to 10x your success. Attend that, and I'll dive deep into rapport and what that really truly is, and how to be able to get into rapport with somebody. And it's a free class. It's online. It's an hour and a half. And so go ahead and jump into that if you'd like. Unless you could actually go to nobrokemonths.com if you're watching this on and to be able to register for that class as well. www.nobrokemonths.com. That's my diabetes is telling me to take some insulin. All right. So as I take some insulin, we're going to go to some warm calls. So these are like warm plus, and now I'm going into people that I've talked to in the past. So this would be like that lady I just got off the phone with. Now, these people I've talked to a few times. Again, I'll tell you where I got them from originally. I'll give you a little brief overview. This one is somebody who her brother-in-law called me from a Google local services lead in June of this year. And she has her mother's house who she needs to sell. Her mom's not in the best of condition. She lives in New Jersey. And that's where I got her from. We've talked to her 8 times. Last conversation was August 22nd. Today's September 18th. Put in my notes, I'm going to leave a voicemail, and I'm putting to give her a call. Today's Wednesday. I'm going to give her a call on Friday if I don't hear from her.
Hello, you did call. Please leave a message and I will return your call. Thank you.
Notes are done.
When you finish recording.
Follow-up's done.
For more options.
Paula, hey, it's Dan Rochon calling. Sorry I missed you. Hey, I just want to reconnect with you. Hope your mom's doing better and feeling well. And just sort of see what you guys were thinking about with the property here. Give me a call or send me a text, 703-346-2776. That's 703-346-2776. And I look forward to reconnecting and helping. Thank you. Bye now. All right. So if you notice, right, like when I realize around the 4th ring, she's not going to answer, I'm already putting in my notes. The follow-up task, my next thing is all done. Right. So now it's like I leave the voice message and what do? I call the next. I'm going to give a little bit of a summary here. So like, this may seem fast to you guys, but I'm super slow right now. Right. I don't have to debate. I don't have to think. I don't have to say, how am I being judged? I just need to make calls. That's all I need to do. All right, next one is being opened up right now. And hang tight. Last time. All right, looks never mind. So she hired another agent, so we're going to skip her. Let's see here. All right, next one is in my pipeline. This is pipeline a little bit slow to populate, unfortunately. There's no notes on this person. I don't know who they are, but they are in my pipeline some way or another. So do I care about who they are? I mean, I care about them as a human being, but I'm not caring, to take the time to, figure stuff out. I'm just making the calls. A lot of times people get bogged down with research.
No,
Hello, Harvish?
correct.
Correct. This is Dan Rochon, a local real estate agent.
Yes,
Yes, I was calling because I see that you were online looking online about property
yes, for condo,
For-
for condo.
for condo. Okay.
I am getting some money very soon. So I'm trying to buy my own condo.
Oh, so you're getting divorced, you're gonna have money soon?
Yes, I have like 300,000-400,000
3 or 4. You're gonna have that before or after the divorce?
to divorce. I get that.
Okay. And so what's your timing to do something?
To what?
What do you think? How long for the divorce?
It's another month I get my money
Okay.
because he's been subpoenaed to the court.
Okay. Well, sounds like a big hassle, but at least it's,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with the big house?
He's gonna sell them because he has to give me half.
Got it.
But the problem is he forced my signature. He mortgaged the house by $300,000. So that's why he's in trouble right now.
God bless you. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah.
Where would you be buying?
I am gonna buy a condo on Farragut, on Chapel Point, Farragut, like Farragut Common or Chapel Point, that area
Okay.
in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Got it. Knoxville, Tennessee. Okay. And the property that the two of you own is also here in Tennessee?
Yes, in Tennessee, in Knoxville.
I got you. Okay.
Live here 40 years.
Oh, okay. Do you You guys have an agent for the big house?
No, he can sell it right now. He tell the attorney what he done for $300,000 for the judge. He has to go court tell the judge.
Okay. When would it be a good time to reconnect and get the process started?
We can really start it maybe next week, or maybe get some money by next week. I don't know. The attorney told me he has to pay you very soon.
What's a good next week? I can give you a call.
Maybe Tuesday,
Tuesday is there? What's the best time on Tuesday?
maybe by 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Okay. How about 1 o'clock precisely on Tuesday? Would that work for you?
No problem.
No problem. Okay. All right. Well, let's do that. All right. Got.
What?
I work with EXP Realty.
Just okay.
EXP.
Much.
All right. You're welcome. All right. God bless. Bye-bye. Okay. So that came from somebody like, where I'm like, I don't know who the heck this is. They're in my database and I'm going to give them a call. They're not in my service area. Anybody here service in Knoxville, Tennessee, by the way? Knoxville going once, going twice, going 3 times, sold. No Knoxvilles. Okay. Mateo, you're Knoxville?
No, I just have a question, if you wouldn't mind.
Go for it.
So my question is, while you're engaging her and she's telling you I'm going to get this money, blah, blah, let's presume that she is in your area and you're going to work her. Where do you go with the delicate point of saying, okay, let me see proof of funds. Let me see, obviously she's looking to buy cash. She's not pre-qualified. We don't want to waste our time with people who don't have money or not qualified. How do you handle that sensitive spot?
Here's where you are, Mateo. Right there. Where do you want to be? You want to be up here. What's that represent? Down here represents I got no buyers. I got no sellers. I got nobody. Where do I want to be? I want to be with a qualified buyer.
Okay.
Will we all agree to that?
Yep.
Where am I in the cycle? It's hard for me to do this backwards.
First floor, entry level.
Yeah, we're down here, right? So we're not up here we're not even there yet.
Okay.
So what is it that I want to have happen next? I want to have a phone call with her scheduled. Then and I booked it. I booked this for some unknown agent. I just booked a phone call for somebody, some lucky agent in Knoxville, Tennessee, who's going to get a referral from me today for a 25% referral fee for a buyer and a seller, and maybe 2 buyers. We don't know what's going on with the husband. Right? Does that seem like a pretty legitimate referral right there? Still some work to do, right?
Right. No,
but guess what? I booked the appointment Tuesday, 1 p.m. See that?
Mm-hmm.
I just got to get someone to give her a call, somebody that's highly competent in that service area.
No, like everything you're saying, I totally agree with what you're saying. My question was, I guess, at some point in there, you are going to get to that that pre-qualification during an appointment or something.
Yeah, absolutely. But right now, I don't care.
Gotcha.
Right. So that's further down the road.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, absolutely. Right. But the reason why I'm emphasizing this is because what I see agents make the big mistake of worrying about that. Right. When you're down here and you're worrying about this, you miss the entire stair set. You're like, you can't. I look at business like a series of stairs going flight by flight by flight. You can't jump from the bottom stair all the way up to the top story. You got to jump. You got to go up the stairs. Wait, I always wanted to do this. You got to go up the stairs.
All right, I got you.
Wait, no, you can't. You can't acknowledge the fun of me walking up and down stairs.
You got to get to the 3rd or 4th floor before you bring that up.
Gotcha. All right, my man. All right, it's 156. It's probably a good stopping point. Let's go ahead. What ahas, what challenges, what questions, what observations? What I want from you guys is I want to make sure that you get something that's like a nugget from this, right? And that you're going to put into real world play. I also want, just for transparency, I want you to register for my How to 10X Your Business coming up on September 7th. I want you to do that. Les already put the thing in there. She did it again. And it's a free webinar. What's in it for me? If you're interested at some point, I'd love to apply to be your coach. If you're interested in talking about EXP, I'd love to be able to talk to you about that. There's ways that you can compensate for that. There's ways that you can't compensate for that. But I'm going to tell you, I want to give you so much value up front that you can see that if you pay me $150 a month to role play with me, that's a no-brainer. Like a no-brainer, right? But I'm never gonna ask you for money. I'm never gonna ask you to do anything. I'm just gonna say, here's the opportunity. If you're interested, let me know. If not, take the free stuff. All right, what ahas do you guys have? What observations? What did you notice today in the last 50 minutes, 58 minutes?
Well, for me, I find that your conversations are just kind of like meant to be lucid, just casual conversation, not trying to be, you know, straight to the point. Hey, I'm here to sell you a house. You're more engaging and more, just breaking the ice per se.
Yeah, remember, what's the first thing? Be in rapport. Right? There's a process to this. First thing and only thing I care about is let me have a conversation. Move on from there. What else? Who you guys got? What else you guys got? What did you observe today? Eric's thumbing on the thing there. What you got, Eric?
I finally got you. No, well, I noticed it wasn't pushy, but you were able to get the information that you needed from them. And it also kept them going. You kept the conversation going to where each time they wanted to leave, you were able to pull something out to draw them back in, to, keep them talking and get information until the end, until you got what you needed.
Yeah, Bernadette. I never asked where she lived. Where she lives? She lives on Queen Street in Clarendon. I never asked if she had sons. What does she have? She has two sons, one in Connecticut, one here locally. I never asked her where, if you've seen any homes. Well, are we thinking about something in Front Royal? I did ask her a timetable after the holidays. Right. But look at that. Of the things that are important to me, there's like 5 things in there. I only asked for one.
Mm-hmm.
The rest just naturally came out. What else? What other observations you guys have? Last one. We're at 2:00. Questions, comments, observations. What did you learn today? One thing. How uncomfortable is that, huh? I broke the comfort, damn it. Normally I don't do that. I wasn't uncomfortable. I just broke it because I'm like, this is bad TV. Bad media to sit here with them. Like if someone just tuned in or like, what the hell's going on here? All right, guys, listen, have the best day of your life. Be grateful, make good choices, go help somebody. Register for one of the coming up classes.